Hi, it's Supermoon Tarot here, back at it again with another pick a card. And tonight is a full moon and will be for the next couple of nights. But the question we are answering today is not only relevant tonight, but if you are watching this at a later date, you can use this for the next full moon. So it's all good either way. Today we are going to be answering the question, what wish should you ask for the full moon to grant? Because yes, you can ask for anything whenever you want. But sometimes there's a series of things that are aligning right now that are working in your favor. And if you focus on them, you will get it faster, better results, all that kind of jazz. So I'm going to be talking about your options. Some of you might have one. Some of you might have a couple. Just depends on where you're at in your life. And I'm also going to be talking about what state you should be in to receive it faster, as well as maybe something might be blocking you from even receiving your wish altogether. So I'll be telling you if there is something blocked and how you can unblock that. So pick whatever group resonates with you. We've got group number 1, 2, 3, and 4. We got all our girls here supporting us. And go down to the timestamp in the description below, and let's start with group number 1. Group number 1, let's answer the question, what wish should you ask the full moon to grant? Your first oracle card is Magic Stream in reverse. Your first tarot card is 3 of Cups. Ace of Cups in reverse. The Justice card upright, the Emperor upright, Page of Swords upright, Knight of Swords in reverse, 5 of Cups upright, 4 of Pentacles upright, and Ace of Wands in reverse. Okay, give me a second to look at this. I can already see here and here that you've been through something. I'm actually I'm getting very emotional. Like I want to cry. So I can definitely feel this was like a hard hit for you. This is really intense. Okay, so right here we're going to start with what kind of happened and what place you're unfortunately going through. What you should ask for and what place you should be in. So let's start off with the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is about this loss. And it was a really big deal. It was something that really defined you or was a big part of your life. Now, this is a general reading, and this can go either way for either a romantic relationship or some sort of a financial loss. Those are the 2 big ones popping up, and Spirit is confirming to me that it can be either one, because this is such, I'm general reading for such a large group of people. So you know, just pick what works for you. But I'm also getting both indications for financial stuff going on and relationships up here romantically. So we're going to get to that. But anyways, so this is a breakup. This is, you lost your job. You lost that opportunity. Whatever it is, it really bothered you. It really messed you up. And it just totally ruined your flow, unfortunately. The cool thing about this card, though, that I don't feel like enough people talk about is the positive aspect about it. There's a bit of, I feel it's a little insensitive to just say crying over spilt milk, but the idea is that, this is not the end. This is a tough moment in your life, but it doesn't mean that good times and better opportunities aren't around the corner. This is just one moment. You're taking a second to grieve, totally understandable, but this is not the end. Which is great, because we have great opportunities popping up for us. So this then caused the 4 of Pentacles. And in this card, you definitely pull back, and it honestly, from you pulling back, sometimes pulling back is great. You just don't have something to give. But in this case, it's kind of further messing up the more positive things that you can, welcome into your life. So, when you go into dating again, you just feel like you cannot give that part of yourself that's intimate, that no one knows, that trust, that loyalty. You just can't give it. You feel hurt. You wonder if it's even worth it. And, well, it's preventing you from getting the relationship you want. Financially, understandably, you're like, listen, I can't pay my bills. Why would I now go for that risk to go further into debt or go on a business venture I can't afford? May I remind you, many huge business moguls were in the worst financial places in their life, example like Susie Orman and people like that, when they made those risks. So truly, there never is a good or bad time to start anything, which is awesome. But either way, there's a withholding situation going on with what you have to give depending on your financial romantic situation. And this is then leading to the Ace of Wands in reverse. All of this, like, feeling like you're running out of what you have to give is kind of just, it's messing up where you need to put your energy, your spirituality, your finances. You want to move forward. This is what's so hopeful and wonderful about the Ace of Wands in reverse in this situation. You want to move forward. You'd love to get out of the situation. You're open-minded to it. You're not closed off. But you are so kind of off your balance, you're not sure where to go first. And I don't see anything yet saying that you've made wrong decisions or not, but it feels like you are or are about to. So, let's go into a bit of our advice situation going on here with the magic stream in reverse. This is going to be, and we'll talk about this more here, but it's so hard to tell someone, I don't want to say get over it, because that is never helpful or useful to anyone, but this talks about the idea of swimming against the current. That, yes, there's rough waters ahead, and that you're in it right now, but you're going to reach the end. The salmon reaches the end of their journey. Did you guys see that Twitter salmon thing where they were shooting the salmon through the tunnels? You're the salmon in the tunnels. So it's worth it. But it also reminds you that it's actually better. It's so funny because Ace of Wands in reverse will often say, like, it's not a good time, don't do it right now. And Magic Stream is going, no, honey, no, we're not doing that. Instead, we're going to jump in. We're just going to do it. We're going to see that as we move forward, yes, there could potentially be some more mistakes. But understanding that mistakes are just mistakes, they're just little small moments, will help redefine what feels like trauma. Don't let this moment become a defining trauma that holds you back even more. Start to realize it's just a blip in time. Start to pull back. Start to see that it's just one stepping stone of you learning something or becoming a better version of you. And this is, by the way, the magic stream is not saying, like, bad things are gonna happen. No, not at all. It's just saying jump in, go do it. Don't force it. Don't have that energy of, like, thinking about it too much. Just go with it. And sometimes when you're going with it, you don't always make the best decision. So just go with it. You get what I'm saying. So let's get to what you actually want. This spread tells me that what you would best benefit from, and enough things are aligning in your situation in your life that you can receive faster, is a beneficial relationship. And I use that term beneficial because most people would say, of course, beneficial. Every relationship romantically is beneficial. No. We're talking about both money and romance. And more importantly, when it comes to romance, because of how things went down, I can see in the Ace of Cups in reverse, this person, when it ended, they were selfish. This could have meant they were selfish and they treated themselves first to another person, so it could mean infidelity. But it's just like, they didn't care about you. They did what was best for them, unfortunately. And that really bummed you out. That sucked. That really defined a lot of your loss and feeling like, am I not good enough? Do I not deserve to be treated better situation? So that's really where your main focus should be, is a beneficial relationship. And it gets pointed out in the Justice card upright. This is all about, fairness, equality, and also seeing a situation clearly, I might add, which we're going to get to with the Emperor. But this is not just about receiving a relationship where you feel like you're treated with respect, dignity, an equal partner in the relationship, you're both working towards the same goal romantically. But this is also, if you're going through a business situation, you're going to find financial success with somebody else. You're going to want to seek a partner. And I'm not just talking about advice, I'm talking about working on something. And this gets repeated again in the Emperor as well. So keep that in mind. But not just that you feel like you're respected. This is a bit of an evolution thing going on, because sometimes when we come out of a bad situation, we just kind of want the opposite. We're not really thinking clearly. We're just like, I was cheated on, I just want someone who doesn't cheat on me. And then you get in the next relationship, and initially you're happy you're not being cheated on, they're clearly loyal. But you realize over time, but we don't really, want to have the same kind of fun. Maybe they aren't the person for me. This is saying in the Three of Cups upright, you want to celebrate. You want to go out socially with your friends and have your friends like them. You want this partner that you financially have benefits with to also feel like someone you can grow with and be a true friend. Because sometimes they say don't mix business with pleasure, but in this case, it's a good thing and you want this. It's going to benefit you spiritually, financially, confidence-wise, everything you can imagine. So, that's what you want. You want the next evolution of what you had in reverse. You don't just want them to treat you fairly, but you also want to have the fun as well, which is awesome. So definitely ask for a beneficial relationship. Now, what state do you have to be in to receive it? Again, I always feel weird saying this to people because it's still sound advice when it comes to like tarot and stuff like that, but on the other hand, it's kind of like asking a lot of someone, but I mean, tarot's saying you can handle it. It's giving you the advice. It didn't just leave you at Ace of Wands and being like, yep, next full moon, don't worry about it. You're messed up right now. Let me move on. It thinks you can handle it. Is the Emperor. This is a fake it till you make it type of situation, because it is asking you to somehow, through your pain and the things you've gone through, to be stable, to be like a leader, to be really driven, and more importantly, not to be swayed emotionally. Now, this goes back to financial situations. If you're asking for a financially beneficial relationship, this is just reminding you that you'll have a lot of positivity because this is about building something that will grow in a long-term situation. So this is you want to work smaller now, and it will build and benefit a long term. It's like somebody who started Etsy and they're benefiting creators, and over time that's been a really long-term investment is the best way I can put it. But for people who are looking for a romantic relationship, this is more about not swaying in what you want. And this goes back to this gets implemented into, these go well together. I can't think of the words, with the Page of Swords, because the Page of Swords upright is about security. And you're going to find a sense of security and confidence to allow your wish to come in, because you know that you're not going to be swayed. You're going to say, I want to be treated this way, I want to have this much fun. And when someone pops up, say no. Get them out of the way faster, because your wish that's being sent to you and being granted is going to come in a lot faster. And you can always have confidence that you're like, well, how will I know if they're the right guy? How will I know if they're the right business partner? If they don't fulfill your X, Y, and Z list of these things that you want with being treated equally, you can see that them through their actions, and also get along with your friends and have a fun time, have a lot of positive experiences, then they're not it. Don't make excuses. Don't be emotional about it. Be really cutthroat and just get out of there. You're not the person. I'm not going to be swayed. I can trust myself. I can trust the moon's going to take care of me for that. But there is a bit of a warning here in the Knight of Swords in reverse. But the nice thing is the Page of Swords is facing towards the Emperor and all this positivity. You're going to more go this way. But there is always the warning of allowing your emotions to consume you in the Knight of Swords, which is more facing back to the past, what you've experienced. This is about somebody who's beaten up. They're pulling away from this bad experience. They're running away. They're retreating. It didn't work out. Don't at all give in to any part of your emotions that feel like you're hurt, or you want to go back to, not giving yourself out. Because while this did refer to your partner, this can also refer to you withholding your emotions and then not being too distracted and being unable to receive these two other positive things. So don't give in to past habits like that. Just, you're going to have to kind of ignore the past a little bit. Let it become a faded memory. Or you're going to pull yourself back into old habits. You're not going to receive all this goodness. Again, it's a fake it till you make it thing. It's a lot to ask of a person, but you kind of have to be like, yeah, I feel great, when you don't feel great. Yep, I got this. I'm going to meet the one. Even if maybe you don't feel like you're going to meet the one. You have to keep saying it with your affirmations to attract it in. A lot of people say that works positively, putting that out there with manifestation, so it makes sense. But in your case, you got to start to build that faith with yourself, and that you're going to make the right decision moving forward. So I hope this was useful for you and you enjoyed this reading as much as I enjoyed giving it. Please consider giving a like and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. But either way, let's get ready for group number 2. Let's answer the question, what wish should you ask the full moon to grant? Your oracle card is Sacred Pool Upright. Your first tarot card is 5 of Pentacles Upright. The Magician in reverse. King of Cups in reverse. The Devil in reverse. 9 of Swords in reverse. 3 of Swords upright. The Empress in reverse. Isn't this not just such a pretty card? So pretty. Page of Wands in reverse. And your last card is 4 of Cups in reverse. Wow. Wow, you've really been put through the ringer. I'm getting like very anxious from this. Yeah, okay, so right off the bat, I can see here in the 3 of Swords, the King of Cups in reverse, the not the Temptress, the Empress in reverse, and the 5 of Pentacles upright, that you have been through the ringer. I can see it here and here, here. Okay, sorry. Let me explain this chronologically so the information comes out more constructively. The first thing I'll say right here is that you were not maybe in the greatest place when you met a particular person that led to an unhealthy relationship. Now, this doesn't refer to just romantic if this is not the case for you. Again, this is a general reading for a wider, larger audience, but this can refer to romantic, friendship, maybe a family member, maybe a parent or a sibling felt that they had control over you and used that to an unhealthy extent. Either way, you were not feeling the best about yourself. They came in, they scooped in, made you feel worse, and yeah, it's not awesome. So we're going to get into a little bit of advice, but more importantly, where you were, what you are going through. And Spirit's telling me right now that you're going through it right now. Yeah, you're not out of the wheelhouse yet. You're still going back and forth to them. So this is what you've been through and are going through now. This is where it's going to lead, which is then in turn leads to your wish in the 4 of Cups in reverse. This is what you're going to ask the full moon for. This is the state you need to be in order to receive it. And let's get into it. So Sacred Pool. Sacred Pool is asking you to look in the mirror. What do you see? Now, this is not meant to be mean, but for some people, that is a difficult question to ask. They have a feeling of self-doubt. This is a lot of insecurity in this card because it's asking you, well, what have you accomplished? Not in a challenging way, but in a positive way of saying your mind's clearly not there. You're not focusing on what you have accomplished. You're thinking you need this big job or this certain kind of degree to be worth anything. And your mind is in such a negative place, you're not able to come from a place, and this is where the advice comes in. This card asks you to focus on self-love, self-esteem. It's asking you to celebrate your uniqueness and whatever accomplishment you've had. I mean, this could be so small. This could be like, I got Taco Bell nacho fries every day for a month. You did it. No one else did. You're the only one. Let it be anything. But you need to kind of readjust your thinking. But this is kind of a little bit where you're at still, but this is where you already were a little bit off when it led into the King of Cups in reverse. This is our main culprit, mixed with the Empress in reverse. So this confusion, or this type of thinking, was pulled through the Five of Pentacles into the Magician in reverse, which is about confusion. And this person caught you in confusion and made it worse. The Five of Pentacles is our first spark and hint to this unhealthy relationship, which is about being dependent on somebody. This is somebody who wanted you to be dependent on them, just to be clear, and tricked you into thinking, this is how it is. They've definitely, this is just kind of a classic sign to an unhealthy relationship in any regard. Again, we're talking about various forms of relationships, whatever, works for you and whatever situation you're in. But you start to kind of forget how time works. You can't remember life before them. You're not even paying attention to things beginning or ending. You're just so focused on what they need, what they feel, how will it be if you left them. You're lost in it, and you aren't able to pull from a life before them. So they've got you turned on your head, essentially, which again leads to more confusion. So this dependent relationship is with the King of Cups in reverse. This is somebody who, yes, they're dishonest, this is somebody who's fighting with you a lot, but honestly, this is way more about a manipulative person. This is a person, and this is where the Empress in reverse comes in when we talk about somebody who's manipulative, somebody who wants you dependent on them. In the Empress in reverse, this talks about somebody who is needy, so they're needy, and they wanted to smother you with their love or presence, whatever it be, because they are unable to face their own problems, which is so funny because isn't that funny how we're weirdly reflecting each other? You are having difficulty facing your problems, but you aren't taking it out on anybody. They decided to find a sense of control in controlling you, unfortunately. So this is somebody who knows personal information about you and uses it against you. They know this dark time you went. Maybe you were with them when you lost someone significant in your life, and they're like, I was the only one there for you when you went through this. Or they know a secret about you and they threaten to expose it. Whatever it is, there's more than just a simple hold of dependency because you feel like they love you type of situation going on here. There's many elements going on to the manipulation. So going forward into the Empress, like we talked about before, this is somebody who's smothering, but this is also about somebody who will withhold their, affection, attention, love as a punishment. So again, this is all acts of an unhealthy relationship. This is somebody who, if you finally start to question and you start to look in the mirror and you say, well, who am I? What about if I did this? What if I went out on my own? They start to be like, well, then I won't be around. And you feel, they trick you into thinking you need their love. Again, this is the dependency thing. And nobody should ever threaten to withhold their love as a form of punishment, point blank. Unfortunately, this has led to the Page of Wands in reverse. This is a sense of being just totally overwhelmed. You don't know which way to go. Again, this goes back to the whole timetable thing in the Five of Pentacles upright. There is this feeling of, if I leave them, I don't know if it will benefit me. But if I stay, I don't feel my best. What do I do? I feel like there's no options available for me. All the doors are closed kind of type of thinking. In general too, there's also like a lack of clarity. So you're unable, and like I said before, you think all the doors are closed. There are doors open. There's always options. There's always a different way. But because of this kind of turnaround they put you through, you just can't see it. So this then leads to our first spark of hope and our wish to essentially ask the full moon. Yours is to ask the full moon for a win. This can be anything, but it does not involve a relationship. No, 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 no. No relationship, no friendship, no family, no new boyfriend, girlfriend. Leave it alone. You are not meant to ask for this. This is something you do independently, and this is something that makes you feel, gives you the confidence to start feeling like you have accomplishments, to start to build self-esteem. This is a sense of taking back some time to rebuild yourself, like a recuperative kind of viewpoint. But also to then add something to your theoretical resume as a human being. So this can be like you ask the moon for a trip. Maybe you go to Italy or something fun like that. Or you get a promotion. There's a sense of, or a new job. Because this version, again, when I say a win, this can be anything small or large. But maybe through building this new promotion or title or career, whatever it is, there's just the feeling and sense of confidence and independence, and without all of this distraction, finally understand who you are and what you're worth, and that you were always worth that much. This is going to come into you beautiful and hot, and you're going to love it, and you're going to receive it. It's going to be nothing but positive. But what do you need to focus on in order to receive it? Like I said before, you're in this right now. This is where you're currently going through this right now. So the pain is being addressed in the Three of Swords upright, and it's directly under the King of Cups. So it is no surprise he is causing the pain. This is emotional pain you're going through. But like I said, with the little spark of hope going on here, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. This is about releasing anxiety. So whatever you need to do to release that anxiety, you're going to have to, this can be a combination of you just getting away from that person. Maybe just being not away from this person will make you feel better, and you just get some R&R. You have a little at-home kind of spa day, or you go see a movie by yourself, whatever it is to release the tension, do that. But I think the biggest thing you should focus on, because this is a mental thing with the swords, I call it taking the bait whenever we respond back to that part of ourselves, that shadow version of ourselves that says, well, what if this, and what about that, and you can't do that. Anytime you respond to it with a reason, you engage it at all, positive or negative, you're taking the bait, and your attention is more and more focused towards that negative part of yourself. So I'm not saying if you ignore those anxious sides of yourself, you don't feel anxious, but if you just don't respond to it or give it attention, you will notice that it does naturally dissipate. You're not feeding. There's an analogy I've heard expressed where it's like there's two wolves, and one wolf represents kind of that part of yourself, like I was just describing, that anxiety, and one part is like the person that sees hope, sees the win, sees the possibility. If you start to give this attention, it will get stronger and bigger, and this one will get bored and leave away. So understand that the transition, if it's difficult or painful, that's not unusual. But you want to focus on releasing the tension, and then this beautifully leads to something that is both inevitable, so you can look forward to the fact that you can have trust that it is going to happen. With it being the Devil card specifically, it's kind of like the tarot and the universe's way of saying like this is set in stone, but also that this is what you want to focus on, which is just like breaking free. It's a full-on breaking free. You're not with this person anymore. This is also about getting rid of unhealthy habits, and they're your unhealthy habit. They're the person that feeds and causes chaos into your insecurity, and you're going to have to break free of those thoughts. You're going to have to break free of them. You're going to have to break free of all that type of thinking. So I want you to, you're going to get out of this situation. You need to be clear of them. You don't have to feel perfect, keep in mind, but you need to not have these type of negative thoughts towards yourself via self-esteem and what if I can't make it type of thinking released from you, just enough to be open-minded to see the possibilities of the good things that come around you. Of course, this person's not in your life anymore. And then you're going to ask the full moon and just say, like, listen, give me something. Maybe you don't even need to say what it specifically is. You can. But you can just say, listen, full moon, I need to feel like I got to win. I need to feel like something good happened to me that's just my own. Help me rebuild and make myself better. And the full moon will answer. So I hope this was helpful and you enjoyed this reading as much as I did. I love doing tarot for you guys, but either way, consider giving it a like and subscribing. It helps out the channel so much. And let's get ready for group number 3. Group number 3. Let's answer the question, what wish should you ask the full moon to grant? Your oracle card is Talisman in reverse. Your first tarot card is 5 of Wands in reverse. Ace of Wands upright. 3 of Wands in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse. The High Priestess. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the High Priestess is represented by the moon. So like if you need like a really positive omen with this particular reading, this is it for you. The Hermit. 2 of Cups in reverse. 2 of Pentacles in reverse. And we have 2... Okay, I haven't even read what this spread is yet, and I already know what you need. I already know, but give me a second to figure out how it all kind of comes together to get to that point. That is so wild. This is a bit of a tricky one for me. Give me a second. Okay, so the reason why this one's a little tricky for me is everything's kind of vague. It's like super vague. Like I'm not quite sure if this is a romantic situation, career. I get concepts going on, and I'm just going to share with you what I see, but excuse me for my vagueness. I'm usually a lot more specific. So we start off with the Talisman Oracle card in reverse. This is a warning about repetitive habits, bad repetitive habits. And it basically says, you know, why do you keep making them? Maybe consider that the way you feel after you make this habit, you know, it doesn't feel too good, is making you keep re-experience this habit and experience this thing, because you're supposed to learn from it. And what you're supposed to learn from it is to choose between 2 different things. On one hand, you can go forward again, but more cautiously. Don't just rush into the same way you approach the situation. Take it a little slower, evaluate it. But on the other hand, it says just take a different path. I mean, like something to think about is the common phrase when they say doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is a definition of insanity. This card says, you know, you could still do the same thing and it could potentially work out, but overall, like, it's kind of hinting at maybe you should stop this repetitive habit. Maybe it's trying to teach you a lesson. So, this repetitive habit kind of gets repeated, through a lot of your troubles you're going through, and it's one of those situations where you start to ask yourself, hey, maybe I'm the common denominator. Maybe I need to work something out. And that's going to get to what your wish is that the full moon will grant, and we'll get to that. So the 5 of Wands in reverse in this particular situation, again, normally I can be way more specific with this card, but this is just the concept of pulling away from a fight or negative situation and kind of gathering your thoughts. Something didn't work out and you're pulling back. You didn't win. You can't take it anymore. It does go back to that idea of repetition, because it's the idea that as you keep having this reoccurring fight over and over again with this either group of friends, person, relationship, whatever, you realize, what am I doing? I'm not getting different results, so you pull away. So this is why I'm getting confused of, I'm not sure if it's like a relationship or whatever. It feels more like worky type of friendship kind of competition type of situation when we have the Ace of Wands. You pulled away and you're like, you know what? Screw you guys. I don't need any of you. And you kind of took all this gusto and energy and you came up with a new fun idea or project to work on. And it was kind of like that feeling of when somebody puts you down and you're like, you know what, I'm going to go hit the gym, I'm going to make myself look hot. But, you also want to slow down and say, well, don't you want to do it for you? What's the best way you approach it? Maybe you should consider that it might take some time, and you'd feel happier if you were more doing it for yourself than the other person. You'd have a plan and everything. Well, this eagerness, that kind of was what led to the initial battle and got repeated again, unfortunately led to the Three of Wands in reverse. Now, this is about the project just, unfortunately, it just didn't work out. It sucks. It didn't work out the way you wanted. This really brings apart the Queen of Cups in reverse. So it just really brings you down, unfortunately. In the Two of Cups in reverse, this is kind of how our spread's going to get to here. With the Two of Cups in reverse, you were disappointed that the plans didn't work out. It kind of made you feel like it hurt your pride, essentially. This feeling of a win was going to make you feel better from what you initially withdrew, but you aren't even seeing, unfortunately, these repetitive habits happening. And keep in mind, repetitive habits are not like the hugest problem of the spread and the main thing to resolve. There's more things going on here. I think the habits are just more pulling you away from your natural instincts. But anyways, from that disappointment, that's when we get to the Two of Pentacles in reverse, which talks about the idea of essentially, she's upside down. She dropped the pentacle. She made a mistake. There was too much gusto. There was not enough well thought out plans. You can think of it because the Hermit is all about, being kind of planny and very analytical. You can see how with the Three of Wands he's so distracted with his little spell casting right there, he can't possibly pay attention to what the Hermit has to say or offer, unfortunately. And it made a mistake. There was just too much passion and eagerness going in with good intentions, and it just, unfortunately, something just didn't work out. I get it with all this this type of twos going on and referring a lot to the idea of a balancing act. It just makes me feel like it's a work situation and one thing went wrong and the tower fell down. I get Spirit speaking up about that as well. But either way, this then leads to the High Priestess and the hurt feelings with the Queen of Cups in reverse. Oops, so sorry about bumping that. The High Priestess in reverse, by the way, she is such a pretty card. Let me show you what she looks like. Look at her. She sparkles. She's so pretty. Look at her. She knows what she's doing. But here, she don't know what she's doing. This ordeal and feeling like one more blow to your ego, seeing kind of it crumble, more than just it not working out, seeing mistakes being made, being disappointed, having so much being put emotionally into this, bag-wise into how this would turn out to be like, this is how I'll prove them wrong type of concept, led to not trusting your instincts, essentially. This is also a hint to kind of what went wrong in repetitive habits and the way you approach a situation. This is a very black and white type of viewpoint. It's not about being closed-minded. It's just you were so swept up in like this equals that, you're not aware that everything in life, whether it be relationships, emotions, the way we approach something, there's a lot of complexities and simultaneous simplicities, which then makes it complicated again. Does that make sense? So that's another hint to how it kind of went wrong. But essentially, this then leads to, like I said, the Queen of Cups, which is just after you had your ego hurt, you kind of, and you don't trust yourself anymore, you kind of close yourself off. You pulled yourself away. You weren't able, this is a card of grief and disappointment, but it's a withdrawn type of thing. There's a lot of privacy going on here, which is a good thing, and this is where your wish comes in. This is all a positive thing. This is both what will happen and a wish to be asked for deeper insight, because the cool thing is, when you are pulling away, again, this is also about pulling away, when we're alone, a lot of great things come to the surface. Nothing is distracting us. We can finally hear what our natural intuition has to offer, aka the High Priestess. And it's the time when we start to educate ourselves, like the Hermit, learn new skills. A lot of positive stuff comes out of this grief and withdrawing. And keep in mind, this is not like a huge disappointment. This is just kind of like your ego got hurt a little bit. You know what I mean? This isn't something you have to worry about, a disaster that either has happened or will happen. But honestly, Spirit's telling me it's already happened to you, so you're kind of like in the way of this. You're kind of in this ego-tripped moment right here. So this then leads to the High Priestess and the Hermit, which actually share two things in common that I think are most notable. One, privacy. Again, that idea of withdrawing, pulling away from your repetitive habits, the way you would normally approach things. Stop running into battle from these other friends or people that you had this disagreement or situation with. But these both share a similar idea of valuing their own opinions over others. So like on one hand, the Hermit's like, as long as I follow my moral code, there's virtue in that. And the High Priestess says, you know, I know that what I have to offer is the right way to go. My intuition's correct, it's leading me the right way. That even if society says, no, that's not the normal way of doing things, you're wrong, they feel so comfortable. This is a lot of self-esteem in this card. This is a lot of confidence going on in this card that says, no, I know I'm right. Which is so funny because I talked about ego, but surprisingly, this is like confidence without ego. This is much more of a spiritual card, and it's a positive thing we should all be in tune with. It's a lot calmer, and it's a lot slower, a lot less eager than that type of card going on. Now, what should you ask the Moon Tuition? Now, right here was the calling card. The two High Priestesses being referred to, and then how the story went here. So, the High Priestess, in both upright and reverse, is ruled by the Moon. And the Moon is all about intuition, again, this like spiritual power. A lot of people might underestimate because we just automatically want money, we want a romantic relationship, but often when we are better in tune with ourselves in the world, we know what to do. We know how to attract it, we know how to feel when it's wrong. This is like the foundation of your house as a person, essentially. So that's what you're asking for. And the cool thing in your situation is the full moon specifically is awesome for like spiritual leveling up. It's like the ultimate moon to ask that for. You, I find I've had a lot of success asking for things during waxing gibbouses, full moons, a lot of different kind of new moons, a lot of different moons. But yes, for sure there are certain moons that have extra power to them depending on what you're asking. So withdraw. Ask for spiritual guidance and spiritual growth. Get that confidence, get that self-esteem, release your ego, ask for that power up and take on that energy, feel it. And as you start to be given clues, because the moon will give this to you, keep in mind that, oh, Spirit is speaking the hell up right now. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting very like overwhelmed by all the information I'm being given. When you start to see little hints of clues, I'm specifically seeing a blue jay right now. When you see like a blue jay or, you know, a swing and it just stands out to you in a particular way and you feel like you're guided over there, it is your intuition, guidance, spirit, your own spiritual practice pulling you towards the next thing you need to experience that will give you an idea, maybe help you meet a certain people, help you have a resolution. Kind of go with the flow and understand that when you ask for it, you will be given it to you, and that's how you will start to receive it and notice it receiving it. And then that's when the self-confidence comes in, that's when the self-esteem comes in, that's when even more natural intuition comes in, a lot of gut feelings. So yeah, take note of that. I hope you enjoyed this reading as much as I did. I love giving these readings for you guys. Give it a like and subscribe. It helps out the channel so much. But either way, guys, have a lovely day. And let's get ready for group number 4. Group number 4. Let's answer the question, what wish should you ask the full moon to grant? Your oracle card is Intentions in reverse. I always think this says Inception upside down. Your first tarot card is the 3 of Pentacles upright. Oh my god, I love this card, the Knight of Cups. Isn't this a particularly cute card too? Judgment upright. Six of Cups in reverse. Four of Cups upright. Four of Swords upright. Five of Pentacles upright. Yes, Nine of Cups upright. That's what I love to see. And the Hangman in reverse. Okay, give me a second to look at this. This is really awesome. This is awesome. This is a great spread. A lot of the other spreads dealt with somebody, someone being blocked or have been through something and needing something, act of healing or improving their life. And this is improving your life, but this is way more focused on like, yes, you're going to get it. Heck yeah, you're going to get it. The Nine of Cups is like the ultimate yes wish card. This is basically saying like, you want it, you're going to get it. So, we're going to actually start off with, how should I go about this? With what you're going to get, what you're going to ask for, what you're going to receive. What was kind of the past experience where you were before, where you're at now, what place you should then go into. And kind of a bit of a warning that if you don't pay mind to these, that you're not going to get it. Be aware that these aren't blockages now, but they could be if you gave them more attention than what you should. So, let's start off with the Three of Pentacles upright. This is important to take note of because this is about bringing multiple viewpoints together for one concept. Now, this can be about multiple people coming together like teamwork, everyone coming together to make something happen. But this could be, and we can get a little abstract here because, that's how tarot is. Tarot is really beautiful. It hits many subjects and concepts. It's not limited to one idea. But this could also be about multiple things happening, like multiple concepts going on, and you've understood and figured out how to bring it all together into one beautiful idea or concept. And what's really important about this idea or concept is this leads to the concept of following your dreams in the Knight of Cups upright. The Judgment card upright is about like your undeniable call. This is like this is destiny. And especially with the Judgment card being here, this is like, there's no excuses anymore. You know what you want to do. You know what you were destined to do. It's all coming together. This is something that's going, in fact, I kind of get a bit of a vibe that you might not even fully know this is truly what you were meant to do. But either way, this is your purpose, your dream. It's beautiful. And this bridging of multiple ideas all coming into one is going to kind of be the beautiful little spark that leads into you receiving this passion or dream. So this is your dream job. Most of the time when people talk about their purpose in life, it usually entails what they do most of the time, which is how they earn a living. Now, maybe you're earning a living by saving orangutans in the forest. Maybe you're earning a living by running your own business or being an independent artist. Whatever it is, take note that this is the time to ask the full moon to get it because you are going to receive it with the Nine of Cups. The ultimate yes, heck yes, it's going to happen. Of course it's going to happen. So whatever you're dreaming of, this is it. Make it happen. But take note that this is the way it will start to happen. Like this is where you want to focus on. How can you bring many things together? That's why I'm thinking you don't even know that this is your dream thing yet. So keep an eye out for that is all I'm going to say. So, Six of Cups in reverse. This is about the disappointment and kind of loss of, this could be a relationship. This could be the disappointment and sadness revolved around when you keep focusing on past laments, as in like maybe you kept making mistakes or you feel someone kept warning you. Whatever it is, you kind of hung up on this. And the reason why you're hung up on this is because of the Four of Cups upright. This thing that happened to you, that kind of like was your little blip in the road, unfortunately, that you went through, really kind of took away a part of who you were. It really defined you. You can't seem to let it go, and you're gonna have to. I actually don't see this being as a huge deal. I think you're gonna get, especially Spirit speaking up too, you're gonna actually let go of this way better than you're aware of. So the way you're gonna start moving forward after you ask the moon of being like, this is what I want to become, this is my ultimate dream I want to have happen, this is my purpose I want to come true, I'm ready for it, is you want to take time to rest. This is important with the Four of Swords upright. This is like pulling back, considering things, evaluating everything, coming up with a plan, and this is super important when it comes to the Five of Pentacles and the Hangman up in reverse surrounding the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is, yes, it's going to happen. Get excited. But the things that are kind of blocking it from fully being connected to the Judgment card and the Knight of Cups up in reverse is the Four of Pentacles is about the lack of preparation. This is really important to take note of. A lot of his anxiety is in this card, and even though this dream is going to happen, it doesn't mean, especially when I talk about the idea of things being brought together, this act of being engaged in it, you're not going to just sit back and let it happen. You want to go for it. You want to make it happen hands-on. And you want to have a plan. You want to be smart about it. It's just that when you put that energy out there with that plan, with that goal, with that mindset, it's going to happen. But you're not, it's not one of those situations where sometimes I'll let people know, like, yo, you can do nothing wrong. Spirit's going to make this happen for you. No. You're very heavily involved with this. You're going to really want to take some time to be alone, work out how you want to approach the situation, what's your best battle plan for going forward in this. And the other thing you want to take note of is the distractions in the Hangman reverse. The Hangman reverse is about indulging way too much into either material, like shopping, buying things, painting your nails, or maybe you're consuming too much alcohol. Whatever it is, you're kind of too lost in the day-to-day superficiality to hear and make the best decisions and be connected to your higher self, your higher truths, your intuition, and all that jazz. Because when you're alone and you're resting and planning, you're going to know what to do. Trust me. The moon's guiding you. The moon's granting you, but the moon's also guiding you intuitively. You don't need to worry about if the plan's going to be good. The plan's going to be good, but make sure you have one. And then when you remove these blockages, you got it all happening. It's beautiful. Oh, also, I forgot to totally mention the Oracle card. Something to take note of in the Oracle card is this Oracle card talks about the idea of foggy intentions. So that's something important to take note of when you're resting and taking time to yourself. Because when I say you don't even know about this being a thing, is because a couple items are coming together in order to create one single new concept that will become your dream. Intention talks about the idea of a foggy state of mind, a foggy intentions. Like, are you clear about what you want, what you mean? Are you sincere in your actions and your thought process? And in this case, this isn't about being, it sounds almost like you're a bully or you're cruel to someone. That is not the case at all. This is more like, don't just pick something to have it be your dream. Take a second. You have time. Relax. Think about it. If you don't feel ready this full moon, definitely carry it over to the next full moon. Either way, you're ready. The world and the universe wants to give it to you. Like, take time to evaluate that without any of the distractions. Prepare. Go for it. You were meant to go for it. There's a full-on yes of the moon being like, I'm going to give it to you, or I'm just waiting for you to ask. And honestly, this is a pretty sick spread. So if you enjoyed this reading as much as I did, please consider giving it a like and subscribe. It helps out this channel like you would not believe. But either way, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.